rail fans and model railroaders. James here with another Walthers NMRBO update. I think it's number 9 this week, and with that I have about 2 weeks left to get this all in. Or in reality, about 1.5, because we're going to be going to a friend's house for Memorial Day weekend, and that's when this whole thing is due. I also realized why it's due on the 30th and not the 31st. It's because that day is a holiday, and I don't know, I guess the digital submission stopped working or something like that. I don't know. Not a big deal. The biggest thing I got done this week was the super trees over here. All along the back here. They may not look the best, but I think they look pretty good. I've got a couple of spots where you can kind of see the green polyfill in here. Basically what I did was I took polyfill stuffing. We use it for our fish tanks for filtration because it's cheap and it's not going to kill the fish. It's the same stuff you get for stuffing teddy bears or pillows, etc. But I took it and I spray painted it forest green. Unfortunately, the green that I used wasn't a perfect match for the super trees or the knock super leaves here, but it's close enough. I think it looks really good. It's also a really good space filler because these super trees can be kind of expensive and they're a pain to make, and you kind of end up with most of the same outcome when you're stacking a whole bunch of them together. As you can see, I kind of have decided to go with a almost very early fall time frame. You can see that some of this stuff is where it's starting to turn into the fall colors. Also, not all the trees are the same. These right here are the fine leaf foliage from Woodland Scenics. They're basically the same sagebrush stem thing, come to find out, because I found a couple of the leaves that you have to rip out of the super trees armatures in there. But that's kind of to simulate a different type of tree, because forests, they're not all monocultures. You'll come across some forests where from the canopy it looks like they're all the same tree, but once you kind of get down towards the edges or inside, you'll notice there's other trees down in there. Another area that I have mostly completed is this section along the wall back here. Wasn't quite sure how I was going to do that, but I took a couple of suggestions from the comments of riprap. So another area that I got finished was back here along the wall. There's some bare area up here. I don't know if I really want to cover that or not. But I got riprap and all kinds of weeds in here. And thank you to the commenter who gave me that idea along with my wife. She suggested it as well. I'm overall pretty happy with the way that turned out. Taking a step back here, you can see that I have the coal stacking tower mostly done. I really messed up on this section. As you saw in the last video, I had the foam tiers right here. I didn't really do that much to smooth them out. I really should have made a nice cone shape out of them and put glue on it. It would have saved me a whole heck of a lot of coal. Those donuts that I had in there were not this big. I ended up having to order like another 3 or 4 bags of the Arizona rock and mineral coal. Came out alright in the end, but if I ever do something like this again, I know how to do it better next time. You can also see that I have the conveyor in place. It's not permanent yet. Right now it's actually being used as a weight to hold in the tower right there as it gets glued into place. Once that's in place, I've also got to run some lights across this that are kind of going to go right off of the stanchions here. Those are in the mail. Hopefully they get here sometime before the end of the contest. We'll see. It seems like HobbyLink is a bit slow to mail stuff. I kind of knew that. Decided to take the risk anyways because I couldn't find the lights anywhere else for a decent price. You can also see that I've got a worker up there right now. He's actually a mine worker carrying a spool for hydraulic or pneumatic drilling equipment. But I wanted a little bit of personality in there for this update, so I tossed him in there along with some of the other mine workers down over here. I'm going to go look for some yard workers, probably an orange vest, something like that. I feel that they'd fit this area a little bit better, but I'll still keep some of the miners around, say they came from the mine after the day's work to check in at the main office, something like that. You can also see this right down here. I think I pointed that out in the last update, but those are bags of coal to be sold off to consumers. This guy just got done filling up a couple bags by hand because the machinery in the background broke or something along that lines. Another thing I got installed, the street lights. Wasn't really sure where I wanted to put them, but I figured one right here at the entrance to the coal yard. Got another one over here at the little intersection that goes underneath the conveyor. Then I've got one over here by the train tracks. That way, an engineer can see somebody walking across the tracks, something like that. Moving along, I've got this area more or less finished. I might put in some more brush and such, but I like the way that it turned out. Probably do some brush in here, a little bit more of the leaf stuff, and I really don't know what else this needs. If you have any ideas, leave them down in the comments. I'll take a look. If it's something that I can do or it sounds like a good idea, we'll get it done. I think one thing that I am going to do though is I need to get some of the water effects and just have water dripping down here. Probably end up doing a shallow pour on that like it's, leftover water because it just rained for the first time. Well, take number 4 because of my cat. He's got a blabbermouth on him again today, so gotta hold him while I do this. So if I bump the camera or anything, I'm sorry. So I'm not really sure what I want to do for the backdrop over here. If I want to put just an arch of trees across. As you can see, I've got this hardy board there. Painted a nice sky blue. They could use some clouds, some variation such like that. When I do the actual photography for this, I'm going to take it outside and take it up to my neighbor's property where they've got a nice view of the sky. I'm going to use the actual sky and the natural lighting as the backdrop. The way I kind of designed things for this is it'd almost be like the light is coming in this way. I think having just that arch of stuff right there would be kind of nice. Or maybe I'll set it up so that there's some forest in the background here. A couple of trees just off in the background. So it kind of looks like it just, kind of goes off into the distance. Do that forest perspective thing. I'm not really sure if I want to hook all the lights up for this shoot. Just because it's going to be during the daytime, you're not really going to see them. Although I guess you will kind of see a little bit of the shadows and stuff that would be around them. And a little bit of the highlighting. So I'm going to play that one by ear. If I do that, I have to pull some of the stuff out of my layout or go buy extra stuff. Which the Woodland Scenics Just Plug stuff isn't too bad. It's pretty convenient. It does take a little bit of work to pull it off of my layout. If you have any comments or suggestions, I'd like to hear them. At the point where the suggestions, would be better off with like detailing and stuff like that. If you have any ideas or things that I missed or know more about how this whole culling process works where I wouldn't have to change everything, go ahead and leave a comment below and let me know. I'm always open to ideas. I've used a couple of them, as you saw over here with the riprap stuff, and I really appreciate that. With all that said, thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you guys next week. Boulder Creek Yard out.